I feel the power. I have the power running through my veins.
Pfizer gang.
Pfizer gang.
This podcast is
free.
brought to you by this podcast is powered by the Pfizer gang and Moderna Brigade. I was gonna say ongoing war, but we've signed a truce.
Yeah, it's a coalition now.
Yeah.
We're working together. Yes, it is true. I have joined the Moderna gang. And by joined, I mean I didn't necessarily have a choice. It's what they were offering.
So you got Pfizer.
Yes, I got the Pfizer vaccine. It's not like it's the only one available in Japan, but it was okay. Those who may not know, Japan's vaccination effort is like really bad. There's a couple of reasons for that. A couple of things is like Japan has vaccines. Like that's not part of the issue. It's really not. What's really the issue is like how do I say? It's not like there's anti-vaxxers in Japan. It's just that Japan is super duper skeptical of vaccines.
Isn't Japan, like, correct me if I'm wrong,
right?
Because I believe we've talked about this off podcast, but isn't Japan, I see it in like, you know, in like certain media and shit, and I also see it like on Twitter, and I always thought it was just like a meme, but isn't Japan like super like home remedy sort of deal?
To a very disappointing degree. It's like really, really bad. Like I couldn't get hand sanitizer until coronavirus fucking hit. It took a pandemic for me to fucking get hand sanitizer in this godforsaken country. And even still, godforsaken's a bit pushing it. I have very intense emotions. I'm sorry. But like,
it's the microchip in you. It's changing you.
I'm so angry. The microchip. Like, even now that like I finally have the gift, I have the gracious option of getting hand sanitizer. It's so fucking watered down. And what bugs me is that Japan has no fucking industry other than like pharmaceutical and chemical production. Nothing else. So produce some fucking alcohol, dudes. What's the fucking issue? I don't get it.
I feel like the thought I have in my head, the scene that plays out in my head about this is that like you're at the factory where they make this stuff, or like you're in the lab where they're creating this stuff, and they're just creating the most like useless stuff. And then one day they're gonna actually like by accident make real alcohol, and one of them's like gonna taste it and they're like, what the fuck? They're gonna be like their worldview is gonna go upside down. Like, what did we just make?
Dude, okay, so like I asked my parents to send me Claritin last year because my allergies were really bad. For those who aren't American, you might Claritin's pretty popular around the world except for Japan. But like just in case, it's an allergy medication that is considered like on the lower end, but it does have a component that if you're a fucking genius chemist or some shit, you can turn it into like drugs, like hard drugs. Again, you have to be like a super chemist to do this. But Japan is so like ooga booga afraid of like any kind of medicine that they straight up banned Claritin. And it's like, dude, I'm not going to make like crystal meth. Like, please relax. I'm begging you. Please fucking relax. I just want to not have itchy eyes. That's all I'm asking for.
That's all I'm asking for. I don't think it's a lot to ask, Mr. Prime Minister at the time, Shinzo Abe.
Currently, what's his fuck? Suga.
Super
Like-
D's nuts.
Oh my god. Oh my
You could
god.
make a Darling in the Franxx too, and that still won't get people to fuck.
Yo, I almost fucking puked from fucking laughing. Jesus Christ, Suga D's nuts.
You almost puked back out the microchip.
Japan can't track me forever if I puke out the fucking shit. No, dude. Like, Japan's kind of like a little late about it, but other than their fucking sentiments over it, like straight up, like logistically, it's just been a fucking nightmare to get the vaccine out. And it's like, are you kidding me? Like, why?
I've been reading that it's like that in a bunch of other countries. Like they'll have, like, some countries will like have vaccines, but it's like, oh, like it's not. I mean, for as much crap as I gave the US for how they handled COVID at the beginning, like, we are doing a pretty good job now of like pumping that vaccine out. Like, all right, like whoever can get it, who is eligible, like, you're good. Like, you can get it for free.
Whoever can will get it. And that's like, that's real fucking important. But then, like, straight up, like, so the way I had to get my vaccine was I had to qualify as, like, a disabled person. Like, you know, disability and whatnot is quite a loaded thing. Like, a lot of people could consider me disabled. I don't necessarily feel like I've got heart issues, so it's quite different. Most things are still accessible to me.
Yeah.
So I'm not about to take away the voices of people who are disabled in much more tangible ways. That being said, though, like, it's the only thing that got me the fucking vaccine early. But then, dear listener who has been with us for a while, maybe you'd be asking, what about your dear wife, Adri? Adri also qualified under the disability portion of, like, vaccine eligibility. And how so? Well, it was specifically because Adri's BMI is, like, over 30. I get that that's, like, one of the things for like at being at risk is, like, being obese, but, like, the fact that was, like, the only way we could get the vaccine is, like, kind of crazy to me.
That's one of those days where it's like, I'll take it, but this is kind of messed up.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, call me fat. I am fat. Like this.
Hey, Doc, I gotta tell you, this is real fucked up, but hey, don't skip on that microchip.
Yeah, you know, I paid for it. You better stick it in, bud. Like, I'm telling you, you better give me the microchip. No, all things considered, I'm just glad that I finally have the vaccine, because, like, the variants are getting real bad around here. I don't want to start messing with that. I don't want to fuck with that. I want to be completely vaxxed up before Japan starts, like, actually realizing and actually considering, oh shit, the pandemic's fucking real?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah,
So
bro.
You'll be good for the long haul.
That's, you know, here's fucking hoping.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this is not a pandemic fan cast. I know all of you guys have been waiting for this moment, holding your breath like, oh, is episode 186 the episode? Are we finally getting the pandemic fan cast? No, you're not.
Why would you want that? Why?
Yeah, I know every one of our listeners was waiting with bated breath, and when they heard Pfizer gang, they were like, oh,
finally.
Is it happening? Guys, it's happening. No, it's not happening. I'm sorry. We're still a One Piece fan cast until further notice.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're still a One Piece fan cast.
Yeah. That's the disease. That's how I qualified for fucking getting my vaccine here.
What's your qualification, kid? I have a One Piece podcast. Jesus Christ, get in
you're
here.
a podcaster? Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ, pull up your sleeve. No, but we are. I wish my pharmacist had said that to me. We are Paramecia Fancast, the One Piece fancast, where we review the latest chapter of One Piece and have a different One Piece related discussion every single week. My name is John, and that pause was me literally almost forgetting the intro.
My name is Franz, and I don't fucking blame you, because sometimes it's just like that, where you're like, fuck, what do we say?
It's the fighting game classic. It's you do a safe jump, they whiff their DP, like you blocked a DP, and you're like, haha, dumbass, now I can get my most damaging punish. And then as they're landing, wait, what the hell's my most damaging punish? And then you hit him with the old classic whiff DP, punish with throw.
See, not everyone is completely blessed with having a fucking 5S like soul bad guy in Strive.
Oh god. Truly a beast.
Fucking gorilla time.
Gorilla time. No, it's well, Jinbei is a gorilla this chapter, but in a good way. We got chapter 1018, Jinbei versus Who's Who, and God, you know, the past couple chapter titles have been sort of cheeky, like Oda this week was like, references? No, this is what you're getting. Like, this is exactly what I'm giving you.
This is what's advertised, and you're gonna like it.
Yeah.
We open up real nice, though, with, to me, it was a bit of an oxymoron, but the reader request this week for the illustration. Page 1, as a child, put a pin in that, trying to read a book of dinosaurs and being interrupted by Ulti, who wants him to play with her and her stuffed dinosaurs. Parenthetical, grown-up version. It's a cute image, Ulti teasing Pepe, whatever. What is the point of being like page 1 as a child, grown-up version? Was the grown-up version like Oda being like, I don't want to deal with them as children right now?
I think yes, but I think it's because he does drawings for like, I don't know if it's for SBSs and stuff, but he does drawings of a lot of characters as children. So I think that the reason he isn't doing that might be because he's going to draw all of these characters as children at some point in like an official capacity, I guess.
That makes sense. That makes a lot
of sense. That's what I'm assuming, but when I read it, I was like, what? I at first assumed that it was, it's because they're both dumb. That they are basically just children.
You're not wrong. They are pretty dumb. But no, I don't know. I'm like inclined to say that that's why. Because like Oda doesn't want to like, you know, reveal his cards when it comes to the SBSs. It's a shtick. So I don't blame him.
It's good. We do get all of the stuffed animals are just the hierarchy of the beast pirates, which I thought was cute.
It's real cool.
We have God, I see that spider and I just think of Black Maria and I just think of the
spider pussy.
I can't, like, spider pussy haunts me to this day. I can't escape.
I don't blame you, like, but do you ever consider that maybe we are at fault for spider pussy, perhaps?
Oh yeah. No, we're completely at fault. I'll take the blame for that one. God.
Look, we have a lot of blood on our hands when it comes to this kind of stuff. Like,
it's Cumgate? We're gonna Cumgate, the day of reckoning is upon us.
And we deserve whatever we get. St. Peter's gonna be at the gate and be like, really?
Really? Fuck Cumgate? Really?
All your time on Earth and this is what you chose to do?
Watch us get to the gate. St. Peter's gonna be like, dog, I was always on your side. What do you mean? Dude, Cumgate.
You guys were right about Cumgate.
Yeah, you guys were right. Like that's yeah, you guys were right.
We talked to Oda and he told us, and you guys are right.
Oh, Jesus. We start
Literally.
the chapter off. Literally, Jesus. We start the chapter inside the castle, and we're getting I think it's the report from like the Marys, but it's like the headliners and gifters have joined the samurai army, about 300 of them, and we just see the gifters going nuts, like just like stampeding through all the rooms that they're in. It's like, oh, it all happened after a girl appeared on the performance stage and gave them an order to switch sides. I believe she has some kind of power over them. And they're like, oh, it's that kid. She used some kind of weird magic. Will it come undone if we kill her? And the Usopp is like, oh, they're targeting Tama. And I love this part. Scorpion Death Needle and Daifugo comes and like he kicks a dude in the face, and then he scorpion like with his kneecap and also his scorpion ponytail.
Yes.
Like just impales a man and kills him, I can only assume.
Yeah. Like inadvertently, like Tama has so much blood on her hands specifically from this command. Cause like
there's an edit somebody made where it's like Tama, but she has the fucking Rinnegan like Madara.
Dude, that's basically what's going on. It's kind of because like it's you know that SpongeBob meme where like the boat is about to land on him and he like has his hands out and he's like, no, wait.
Yeah, wait. And it stops.
Yeah, like Tama never did any of that, you know? She was like, oh, fight on Luffy's side, but she didn't like put her hands out and was like, but don't kill anyone or hurt anyone or anything like that, you know? Just
yeah.
Don't kill, please.
As soon as she was about to start the don't kill bit, that's when Usopp yanked her away from the microphone.
She never had a chance. Not a shot.
Oh god, but this is somebody posted in our Discord on our live reactions channel, and this is one of my favorite panels this chapter. And it's Otama just looking over Usopp's shoulders. Oh, hi Daifugo. And Daifugo, after killing 2 men, just looking up at Otama, just thumbs up.
just a thumbs up. Nothing else about it.
So good.
Dude, it's so fucking funny. Like, we're here with Daifugo giving the thumbs up, and immediately after, Horselina shows up, giving her fucking, ooh, you know how I feel about horse smiles. It's like, oh, what a success. You did great, master. Usopp, no space for him on the horse.
Yeah.
Like, Nami, Tama, they're safe on Horselina. Fucking Batman is his shit, right?
That's Gazelle Man.
You're
think,
right.
Running.
It is Gazelle Man.
Yeah.
Batman has wings on his ass. How could I forget? Silly me.
How could you forget?
So Gazelle Man is running on the wall next to Horselina. Usopp right behind. Again, no space. Komachio was knocked out back there. You must be worried, right? Let us take care of it. And Tom was relieved to hear that. I'm kind of surprised that loose end was even talked about. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like it'll come up at some point, or it's just there for Oda to be like, no, I didn't kill the dog.
Yeah, that's what
guys,
feels like to me.
He had to prove that he's not Araki. He had to be like, no, the dog is not dead.
The dog's okay. I didn't throw the dog in the furnace. Okay, please, you gotta trust me a bit.
I didn't throw the dog in a furnace, or split its head in half by the liquid stand, or have the other stand rip its head off.
Araki has killed a lot of dogs, hasn't he?
There's like some interview where he explained why, because somebody was like, you kill a lot of dogs, and he's just like that is the most evil thing a villain can do. Is like kill a dog. So to make
You're
them
not
hateable
wrong.
villains, I need to make them kill dogs. And it's like, I guess so.
You're right, but you shouldn't say it.
Yeah. Oh God, I do love. Real quick, the Usopp is like, "Hey, any room for me?" Because in the panel before, you see Nami and Speed or Horselina making eye contact, and Usopp is holding Tama.
Yeah.
Immediate cut to Nami holding Otama on top of Speed, and like Nami just yoinked Tama and just got on Speed.
She said, hey, it's my turn to hold the baby. Fuck you.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. And then we do get a scene with Nami. She's like, oh, that really is a remarkable power right after, Gazelle Man and Speed were talking to Tama. And Usopp finally got a ride where he's like on the ass. He's like the guy, like when you hog tie somebody in Red Dead and you put them on the back of your horse. That's how he's laying.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, yeah, you don't usually make friends on a battlefield. And we coming out of the bloop bloop bloop, coming out of the climate act. Hey Nami, can I be your servant like before? And she's like, what do you mean? Absolutely not. Aw. But what do you say to sidekick? And she winks at him. And he's like, Nami, out of my way, losers. I'm Nami's sidekick. And he's like shooting lightning everywhere.
Dude, Nami fucking got him. Nami understands what this boy is about.
It's so good. And I love Usopp, like, you picked up something remarkable too, I gotta say.
Dude, like, the fucking power up, the level up in all of this is fucking crazy. Like, yes, Tama is fucking powerful, but like, you ever just like sit down and think that like Nami will go through the rest of the seas, the rest of the Grand Line, holding a piece of Big Mom with her?
Yeah, a chunk of Big Mom's soul, able to shoot massive like lightning blasts, is just within Nami's like tool set.
Yeah, no fucking
I love
nothing. Dude, it's so fucking funny. I really do love it. Like, thank you, Oda.
Yeah, thank you, Oda.
I didn't know I needed
this. Thank you for
this.
keeping the propeller hat.
Yes.
That's.
Thank you for understanding without like hearing us that
We were scared for a bit.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna
for
lie.
Sure.
The week where he was in like the climate act, I was like, oh no, like he doesn't have the propeller hat. And then when he appeared again and he had it on, I was like, oh, thank God.
Thank God he's back to normal. Our good boy. Like,
our good boy.
Like, not to knock on
propeller hats. No.
No, not to knock on Zeus. But without the propeller hat, he is nothing. Just putting that out there.
Yeah, he is it's how do I put this? Without propeller hat, I absolutely don't like. With propeller hat, I will lay my life on the line.
Yeah.
I think that's the perfect way to describe it.
It is a good way to put it all. Like, it's a requirement. The hat stays on during piracy.
Yes. I love it.
Dude, we get this like whole fucking scene of the rest of the gifters, the some of the headliners' followers, everyone joining the fucking fight. There are roughly 1,000 of them, and in the surprise betrayal, they've managed to take out 1,000 of others, of ours. So personally, I could not keep up with this math. There were too many numbers all the way out here. I'm too busy speedrunning Satisfactory right now. Can't do numbers. No more numbers. I know how many copper sheets and how many plastic boards I need to make a circuit board. But you asked me to do more numbers than that? Nuh-uh, buddy. Not happening.
You asked me for One Piece math? No.
No, buddy. So, apparently, the Animal Kingdom pirates started with 3,000, have dropped to 2,000, and because of the switch, now it is 16,000 at the current moment. It is 16,000 on the side of the Beast Pirates. It is 9,000 on Luffy's side. That might vary because like gifter reports are coming in a little slow, but that's the math that the Marys and the CP0 dudes are doing.
Yeah, and I kind of shady, man. I don't know. They need to show their work. I don't see no work being shown. A go board doesn't count as, the work on the side of the problem. Because they're like, oh, it started from 30,000 and then to 20,000. And then you just take a few thousand. It's 16 versus 9,000. It's like, what? How did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a little out there. Like, we need something a little more concrete, buddy.
Yeah. We do get some interesting things, though. Because one of the CP0 agents is like, after he says, oh, it's 16,000 versus 9,000, and white may grow further, depending on the gifter's efforts. Whichever side wins does not matter to us, says the very, very tall one, with who has the mask that he has to manually hold in place. He's like, but there is one death we must confirm before this is over. And they're like, are you sure it's him? That classified intelligence he ran off with was old, and there's no real harm to the government. It doesn't set good precedent that you can escape from us and live to tell the tale. Assuming he survives this, of course. He is fighting Jinbei after all. And it's like, oh, we cut back to the 4th floor, and it's, again, I mean, we'll talk about it more as this scene progresses, but whatever the hell he was up to before and during his time in prison, this to me assumes that he broke out of prison, but nobody only CP0 knows. The rest of the world doesn't know.
That seems like it could track, because why would the rest of the world know about CP0 members and their movements?
Yeah, because they're because they even said are you sure it's him? The classified intelligence he ran off with was old, and there's no real harm to the government. So it seems that he escaped, but he hasn't come out with whatever information he hasn't come forward with it yet.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I don't know, man. Either way, he's moonwalking everywhere, and right where we left off last week, he's like, so Jinbei is like, so you're saying you bear a grudge against Luffy? And he's like, technically, my grudge is against the man who stole the gum fruit from us, red-haired Shanks. Yeah, go ahead.
This whole thing, about hating Luffy last chapter, and then out here he was like, okay, I don't hate him, but I hate how he looks, because he's shooting off his fang pistols, this and that. Jinbei tries to block it with armament hockey, and here we have learned, I don't know how old this question is, if it's an age-old question or not for sure, but apparently the 6 whatever the fucks from the Cypher Pole, they, at least this pistol stuff, can go through armament hockey, is what we've seen just now.
Yeah, there's some weirdness, because later on he bites down.
Yeah.
Later on he uses Iron Body, the Tech Eye or whatever, and he lunges at Jim. I mean, we'll get there, but his teeth are shaded in black later on. So I'm not sure if he's using both, or if maybe this is sort of to show that the 6 powers utilize some of the basics of hockey.
Right. That could make sense.
Because I know you can combine the two for sure.
Yeah. That's something that would probably happen with Tony the Tiger. What's his name?
Yeah, Tony the Tiger. I'm pretty sure it was confirmed that post time skip, Rob Lucci can also use hockey now.
Yeah.
So I guess, yeah. But interesting either way that he's able, because his teeth aren't black right now, so he's able to just with the fang pistol cut into the armament hockey. But yeah, like you said, he goes on. He's like, both the straw hat he wore at the time and the gum fruit were things the boy inherited from him. Him being red-haired Shanks, and he's like, of course he'll be the target of my rage.
Dude, like, it's straight up just like, I hate the way he dresses.
Yeah.
Like, goddamn, like not to say like he's just a boy, but like, that's what you're gonna hate him for?
Yeah, really, like, you're gonna hate him for the sins of the father, dude. Like,
dude,
really?
Even like with that like considered, it's just like so fucking funny to me. Like, I fucking hate that hat and this rubber boy. Like, dude, like, if you hated him more, fucking go after him. Or did you know he was gonna go after Kaido?
Yeah. Oh.
You know, I said it out of fucking nowhere, but maybe. But his fucking pistols are just like shooting down into the floor below, and like,
yeah,
everyone's just getting fucked by it, and it's like,
yeah,
oh, like... it's who's Fang pistol, fuck, just running away.
My arm!
Yeah, some SpongeBob kind of shit.
Yeah, my leg. Oh god, but like on the fourth floor, he's like, who's laughing? He's like, ha ha ha. So even your color of armament can't stop them. At this part, yo, I said it before recording, I'll say it again. Who's who is a goddamn debate bro that you find on Twitch that just like screams dumb shit and probably says the N-word in private. So he's like, you made the right decision to dodge. Your typical armament hockey won't stop those fangs from tearing you apart. Which also put a pin in that, because I'm like, okay. But he says, though I'm surprised to see how quickly you can move on land. You know, ... for a fishman.
Which, like, dude, come on. You can't just say that.
Jinbei even is just like, I don't believe this. Don't you know casual racism against fishmen is out of style these days?
Dude, it's so, like, I did a double take when I was reading that. It was so fucking funny. Because, like...
so good.
Okay. There immediately a lot of people, like, not that it's, like, rightfully so, but, like, I understand the immediate skepticism of, like, wait, was that actually in the Raws? To first just come out with yes, it was verbatim, like, in the Raws. And I talked about it a bit on our Discord, but I would go as far as saying that, like, Stephen Paul, like, not, like, softened the blow or anything, per se, but, like, so the casual part of the casual racism was inserted by Stephen Paul. It kind of gives, like, a bit more of a context when it comes to, like... how the degrees to which we view racism in, like, the United States and comparable countries, like,
yeah,
but in the Japanese, straight up, it's just like, hey, like Jinbei says it almost kind of like in a way that's like cool with the kids, like hey, he says it kind of like a fucking, like, 1980s cartoon character. It's like, racism ain't cool, man. Basically.
Yeah! Roaring applause from children everywhere.
Like, it's so fucking funny to me that that's how this is developed. But, like, the other thing is that, like, in a bit of a political sense, it's really cool to see this, because, like, racism isn't talked about in Japanese schools. You know, some people and some teachers will not bemoan, like, racism, like teaching racism, but, like, bemoan the fact that it's not taught. And they'll pin it usually on the fact that, as they say, Japanese teachers themselves say, Japan is a heterogeneous nation. Like, Japanese people are like only Japanese. That's a misconception in and of itself, but I understand their thought behind that. Like, Japan is not homogenous whatsoever. Like, that's a simple fact. But the how should I say? Like, even that aside, you still have, like, half American, half Japanese kids in Japan who do not belong to the homogeny of that. It's just that, like, in pop culture, nothing but the homogeny is allowed to be seen. So, like, something that I did as a teacher in Japan a lot is, like, whenever the book came around to it, for some reason our textbook had, like, one section like, oh, Martin Luther King, I have a dream. And it made me so angry because, like, they kind of talked about the Jim Crow era of the United States, but they kind of just, like, were like, oh, some bad stuff happened and it's all gone and done. And I was like, damn, I'd expect this of, like, American education, but, like, usually, like, countries outside of the United States love to bust American balls about, like, racism, like, and shit. So
look at America, he's racist.
Exactly. So, like, it was a little surprising, having lived in countries other than America and other than Japan. I was like, oh, I mean, fucking whatever, dude. Okay. So, like, I had to take it upon myself to, like, teach these kids about, like, especially because, like, these kids watch the news. Like, they're middle schoolers. I never watched the news in middle school, but, like, I don't know, these kids built different or some fucking shit. But all of them fucking watched the news, and all of them were like, oh, what's up with, like, George Floyd and this and that. So, like, I was in a position where I had to explain myself, and in order to, like, properly explain myself, I had to be like, well, our racial tensions start a long time ago. So it was very weird for me because other than me, this education didn't happen. And it's not like my coworkers, the other English teachers didn't know about this. They did because they were kind of, a lot of them were old enough to be alive during the civil rights era and be, like, college students during the civil rights era. So, like, they had seen this shit. So it's just like, I don't know. It fucking boggles me. I'm so glad that Oda brought it up.
Yeah, it's so cool that, like, something that's popular with probably a lot, if not all of the kids in that age range is, like, bringing up something like this. Yeah. Even if it's just, like, not... Well, I mean, Fishman Island, the whole arc was about, like, racism and shit. But
right. But it's still,
I still like that it's a consistent thing. Like, Oda's like, nah, see? In the world, like, racism didn't just happen on Fishman Island. Like, it exists.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Fishman Island, the whole shtick, it was, like, about racism. But, like, to have these things, like, we've talked about it a lot, but, like, being very honest, this degree of mention is, like, the lowest bar.
Yeah.
But it is still, progress is progress, and progress is exciting.
Yeah. No, I love when Jinbei said that. I got so hyped when I read that. And Who's Who is just like, oh, haha, sorry, didn't mean to say that, haha. Anyways, there's something I wanted to ask you, and this is where he does Iron Body, the Tekai, and he, like, lunges at Jinbei and uses Fang Flash, and this is where his fangs are coated black, and you can see Jinbei holding the fangs back. Well, okay, he's not holding them, he grabs the fangs, and he uses Fishman Jujutsu, low tide shoulder throw, and he slams Who's Who on his back.
Dude,
like, Fishman Karate's so sick.
It's so fucking cool. But, like, Fishman Karate aside, it's just really cool to see a fish man, like, body fucking like judo toss.
Shoulder a saber-toothed tiger.
Dude, it's so cool. One Piece is so cool.
One Piece is good.
I fucking love it.
I love it. And he even goes for like, he tries to shoot him while he's down. He's like he's going for the kill shot, like with the water droplets. But Who's Who gets out of the way. And this is where we get some interesting shit. We'll try to speed run it so we have time to talk about it. Who's Who gets up and he's like, oh, anyways, he says anyways, mind you. He's like, anyways, I wanted to ask you about a story I heard in jail from a guard. While I was there undergoing terrible torments, he laughed and told me to pray. Apparently, there was a figure that slaves would pray to in the long-distant past, a legendary warrior they believed would one day free them. The sun god Nika. Did he exist, or did they dream him up? They thought he'd bring smiles to their faces and deliver them from suffering. And Jinbei's like surprised as Who's Who lunges at him again. He's like, my time in prison felt so endless, I actually clung to that strange legend of theirs. Save me, I thought. Someone, anyone. Why would you... And Jinbei's like, why would you ask me about this? And he's like, because you led the Sun Pirates. I heard that there were former slaves in that crew. And what with Fishman history... And what is Fishman history but the history of slavery? And it's like,
you don't gotta put it that way, dude. Like, I get what you're trying to say, but like, come on, brother.
Jinbei, statistically speaking, 90% of all fishermen commit 90% of the crime.
No, stop, too real.
Oh, God. But he does finger pistol spots, and he's just like, it looks funny. If you just look at this panel without context, it looks like he's doing the like, huh? Jinbei? Is this bothering you? Is this bothering you, Jinbei? Huh? What about this? What about this? Like, I'm touching you, Jinbei. I'm touching you, Jinbei.
I'm not touching you.
Yeah. Oh, God. But, he's just going at it, and they're like, whoa, check it out. Master Who's jabbing this guy out. Get him, boss. I can't believe it. Our Tobiropo is even stronger than a former warlord.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, that prison guard who told me the story of Nika, they disappeared him days later. And I started thinking I was in danger too. So I risked it all to escape. And here I am today. Is it deadly to even know about the legend? Fascinating, isn't it? So tell me everything you know. And Jinbei breaks the motherfucker's finger.
Dude,
wait. Yeah.
About
breaks
fucking
his fingers. Fishman karate shark grip gives this man fucking manually induced carpal tunnel, breaks his wrists, and he's like, I have nothing to say to the likes of you. And he fucking, like, dude, this man, Who's Who goes for, like, he kicks him, and this is like the most badass panel of Jinbei. He literally is just standing there, and you see the smoke from the kick, like, coming off his face. Like, Jinbei just took the kick. Like, he didn't even die. He just tanked the kick.
Like, what a fucking boss, dude. Like, it's so good to see Jinbei finally participating with the crew. Because, like, boy howdy have we needed it.
Oh, it's so good. This is, like, I liked Jinbei's introduction, like, first bout with the crew.
Yeah.
On the intro raid to Onigashima. But with this scene, I'm like, man, hell yeah.
He's
go,
the coolest,
Jinbei.
dude.
Yeah. He tanks a fang pistol to the face, and he takes his stance, Fishman Karate secret art. And then he's like, crap. He just snapped all of a sudden.
Who's just like, oh shit, I shouldn't have brought this up.
And Who's Who tries to jump out of the way. And then you see, hey, you're on my tail.
Dude. Ooh.
And Jinbei tells him, if you're gonna run your mouth about history, hits the man with Fishman Karate's secret technique, Demon Brick Fist. I can only assume he's shattering the man's skull from the inside out.
Dude, it's like the same kind of like effect as Whitebeard's like earthquake fruit. And
yeah,
he's liquefied his brain inside his skull.
Jinbei fucking lobotomizes the debate, bro. And he's like, be ready for what you're stepping into first. And they're like, Master Who's Who? And Jinbei just standing there.
Dude, it's so good. Fucking, I can't believe it.
I love Jinbei.
Chams on our Discord brought up the most genius fucking shit, the most genius comparison, that Jinbei versus Who's Who felt exactly like Po versus Tai Lung in Kung Fu Panda 1. That
God.
shit was so fun.
Take the final. It's literally okay, because he goes Fishman Karate secret art, and he stops his fist in front of Who's Who. He doesn't actually punch it, he stops the fist. Replace Demon Brick Fist with fucking Skadoosh. Fishman Karate secret art Skadoosh.
Oh no! Oh
god! And then Jinbei got his Delgato stolen from him by Ninja.
Dude, I can't believe that Jack Black is voicing fucking Jinbei.
In the English dub.
You heard it here first.
God. Jack Black would be the perfect Jinbei.
It'd be really funny. I would enjoy that so much.
Now I'm just imagining there's a Tenacious D on their first album. I think it's the self-titled album. There's a mix of like songs on the album and then like comedy skits that they do.
Oh right. I know what you're talking about.
And there's one where they're at the drive-thru and he's like, "Hey, do you want anything?" Or he's like, "Hey, like, tell me what you want." And then they go to the drive-thru and Jack Black's like, "All right, I want a medium soda. And I want it half Diet Pepsi and half real Pepsi. I'm trying to watch my figure." And he just keeps ordering shit that's weird like that, and he keeps qualifying like, "I'm trying to watch my figure. I'm trying to slim down." And then like after like 5 minutes of him ordering, he's like, "Hey, Cage, you want anything?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'll have it." He's like, "Jesus, take long enough, will you?"
Dude,
I'm just imagining that scene playing out with like Jinbei and like Luffy or something.
Fucking order. It's taking long enough. That's so fucking good.
But as much as the Jinbei Jack Black discourse could continue, the sun god Nika? Can we just
Yeah, like
Can we just
yeah, can we just real quick what the fuck?
Yeah. And he heard about it in prison?
Yeah, like
what the hell?
Tibnak on our Discord brought up that right there, that little like symbol for this sun god looks pretty rubbery. And that's a dummy boy.
It's weird because he gets like, "Oh, the sun god Nika, he exists," and he's like, they thought he'd bring smiles to their faces and deliver them from suffering. And it's like, I guess the question is the sun god Nika, is that also Joy Boy? Because there is a thing, I remember there's some textbook that somebody dug through and found an excerpt of, like, there's the Joy Boy, and there is some, where is it? Let me see if we can find it. I'm pretty sure it's this. Oh, yeah, it's this. Somebody was looking through, it's taken from the book, The Encyclopedia of Things That Never Were, or something like that. Let me see what this book is.
So, like, highly specific.
Images. Yeah, it's a book about, like, just, like, mythological stories and stuff.
Right.
Like the mythos of different stuff. But anyways, there's a section of a West Indian character that's called Joy Boy.
Wait, no fucking way.
Yeah, I'll send you the link. And it says, like, let me read it. It says, the West Indian character who personifies the human need to dance, sing, and jubilate. He is a relation of the Lord of the Dancers, who inspires festivals in colder countries, and it seems likely that he traveled to the Caribbean with an early shipment of slaves. From West Africa, Joy Boy smiles perpetually at all of the foibles and problems of mankind and cures human troubles by tapping out an irresistible rhythm on his drum. Whoever hears the music of Joy Boy is compelled to dance and sing along until he or she has shaken the black coat of despair from the shoulders.
Whoever hears the bell from Shadia.
Yeah. Some jazz players claim to have captured Joy Boy rhythms, but their efforts are a pale imitation of the dance frenzy, which can keep humans dancing until they drop. And, yeah, because I'd have to go back to Skypiea, because there's a lot of things people are bringing up that, like, link back to Skypiea and other things. One of the things was there's mention of a sun god in Skypiea.
Yeah.
And I would have to go back, but I remember them bringing up the god of the sun and, like, the god of the moon and the god of something else. They had, like, this prayer that called upon all the gods when they were calling the snake for the sacrifice.
Yeah.
I guess I'll do my homework and come back with the results. I could look for it right now. I have the volumes, but to
actually go about it, yeah.
I don't want to scoot the chair all the way to the other side and grab the box set that I own. And I guess I could, but I'm just a lazy piece of shit. Anyways, there's a mention. Case in point, there's a mention of the sun god in Skypiea. There is also the mention obviously Fisher Tiger, created the Sun Pirates. Like he rebranded the Celestial Dragons like mark.
Yeah.
Specifically with that of the sun. And it's like, okay, like with how all of these cultures are developed in One Piece, I find it damn near impossible that he just chose the sun for some arbitrary reason.
Right. Like there's no coincidence about that. I find it hard to believe that it's just a freaking coincidence.
And especially because, like, if Oda is taking inspiration from this character of Joy Boy, the West Indian character, it's like, it would make sense that if Joy Boy was, like, I mean, it even coincides with, it might just be confirmation bias, but it coincides with also what Who's Who is saying, like, oh, like, he'd bring smiles to their faces and deliver the slaves from suffering.
Yeah.
Like, he would save the slaves and whatever, and then, like, he's playing the drum, and even, like you said, the bell of the Shandians or whatever.
Yeah. Dude, there's like quite a few things if we were to like sit down and like annotate like everything that could possibly be connected to this. Like,
yeah. And even, the bell of the Shandians, I'm reading on the wiki. When it is struck, it plays a beautiful song called the Song of the Island. And it's like, I'm trying to find where because there's a quote I remember that somebody tells them. It's like, oh, when you hear the bell, like, you, where is it? Oh, it doesn't actually say here. Oh, I guess it doesn't actually say here. But I remember them being like, oh, like, if you hear the sound of the bell, look, I look like a doofus right now because I can't find it. But I know what you're talking. We all know what we're talking about.
Look,
right?
Fucking Skypiea has been so far away. There's actually someone on our Discord rereading through Skypiea like very recently. So that if y'all can hit us up like on what your two cents are.
Please add us on the Discord. Yeah. It's also like interesting because the sun god, there is, I had brought this up to Franz before recording, but in Whole Cake Island, like talking about just like the this theme of like, because somebody brought it up on our Discord, like maybe like the sun god is like just, or maybe Nika, somebody I forget who had brought it up. I think it's in the Theory Crafting channel somewhere. Oh, it's a newcomer to our Discord, Supanda Man. They said, also, I think in the same way that different cultures have different names for similar things, hockey equals mantra, etc., Jinbei and Nika are different names for the same person / title, which makes sense because, like, there's imagery of the sun in Elbaf in the flashback we got, and specifically they were celebrating the summer solstice, which is like has to do with the sun. Like I think it's like the what was it like the rising of the sun or something like that.
The summer solstice. Oh fuck! Is it the equinox where it's the longest day? I don't remember.
Yeah, maybe it was something like that. I remember it was the solstice. I don't know if it was like the summer or something.
Right.
But they were celebrating like the solstice of the sun or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think even on the table in Elbaf there was like a sun symbol.
This is getting crazy.
And then I know for sure in Alabasta, it's one of those things that's like Sanji being a prince, mind blowing.
Yeah.
In Sanji's big Mr. Prince, debut,
right,
when he's outside of the Crocodile's palace, because he's wrapped up head to toe in the Alabasta like garb,
right,
and on the side of his garb, there's a symbol for like it's like a big dot with like little flares around it. It's like the sun, and there's like this. The symbol of the sun exists in Alabasta like so many, like in so many places. Like there is a Denden Mushi that has Alabasta. It's like an Alabasta Denden Mushi. But in between, it says like Arabasta.
Okay.
Here it is. Or here's a good picture of it. But in between the two syllables, or like the Arabasta, I sent you the picture. There is a sun. Like it's a little dot with there's a better picture, a more clear one.
I see what you're saying now.
Yeah, but like in between there is like a sun, and it's like thinking of all of this, like the sun symbolism.
Yeah.
And everything. And then it specifically being in Alabasta, and knowing that Alabasta was one of the countries that like
said no.
It was one of the kingdoms that refused to go back to Maryjoy.
Yeah.
Or Maryjoie, and they wanted to stay like down with the other countries, down with the sickness. Knowing all that, and like Cobra wanting to know the truth about what happened, like we're getting closer to some Void Century shit.
Yeah.
And it's getting good.
This is like, look, the one thing that I don't remember if you've brought up in the like as we've been recording, but when we were talking before the call, like this whole like dawn imagery shit,
yeah,
like it matters.
Yeah, especially because we have talked about it before. The moon is like there's so much moon imagery in One Piece, and it's like, okay, you can't have the moon. Like the moon doesn't have any importance without the sun.
Right.
And the image of the dawn, especially important to like, the people of Zou, like the Minks, derive their main power, like the Sulong form, from the moon.
Yeah.
And then it's like the thing that I guess it's like, this is me just like extrapolating whatever, but the thing that takes away their power and the thing that would stop their Sulong form from being needed, or like that takes them out of Sulong form, is the sun.
I see what you're trying to get at.
Like,
yeah,
like they derive their power from the moon, but like when the moon is gone, they don't need that power, and it's like, the coming of the dawn makes them not have to use that violent power. But also them just having this legend of like and even like I guess some of it was brought on by Roger, like like the coming of the dawn.
Yeah,
like the dawn is the rising of the sun, and it's like, okay, with all this talk of, I mean, Kaido outright stating like, maybe you aren't Joy Boy after all, like what,
dude?
And
yeah,
then all this stuff of like, the rising, the coming of the dawn, and like if the sun god Nika is Joy Boy, then like then
Yeah.
the coming of Joy Boy would be the dawn that everybody has been waiting for, and it's like, oh shit.
It's not like it's impossible that is the case.
Yeah.
Especially because like there is like a bit of a deified image to all of this, so to speak.
Yeah.
And so I think it's not like, okay, the whole like will of D, like what is the will of D? Oh my gosh. Are we ever going to find out?
Yeah.
I think this is the closest we've ever been to finding out. And it's not a bad idea to consider that maybe the will of D is related to like some lineage of this like god of Nika. Not necessarily that like that in it. It does make it seem like it is like a bit of a chosen's one kind of thing, but I mean it more in a like set like, so okay. Sorry that like my thoughts are like all over the place.
No.
So a lot of countries try to legitimize their lineage as like descendant from a god. Japan's a good example of that, in that like, you know, they're a nation of that comes from, that was created by Izanami and Izanagi, and then descended in some part by Amaterasu. So that is what I mean by like descent, kind of like a creationism kind of thing.
Yeah.
And based on that, like, I think it'd be interesting to see if like these like children of Nika, quote unquote, the will of D, the people with the will of D, are people who long ago belonged to some nation, quote unquote, descended from Nika.
Yeah, maybe. I also like, it could be if because like I know that there's been, I know we're kind of running a little long, but it's like, is there, because like we know that there's multiple Joy Boys, or Joy Boy is like some kind of title.
Yeah.
And like when they mention it, they might not even be referring to like the one Joy Boy.
Yeah.
Now, whether there's multiple in each generation or something, kind of like a one for all type deal, I don't know. But like, what if the sun god Nika was one of the Joy Boys, maybe? Maybe not the original Joy Boy,
but one of many.
Yeah. Because my thought process is like, why would Oda bring this up specifically in the fight with Jinbei?
Yeah.
And he kind of does it. Who is asking him, and Jinbei even says, like, why would you ask him? Why are you asking me all this?
Yeah. It's not like it's suspect, but it's like Like
Jinbei was mad at the racism, but like mad in a kind of, all right, just come over here, I'm gonna beat your ass.
Right.
But then when he says, why would you ask me about this? He's like, because you led the Sun Pirates. Like, you were former slaves. Like, you would know about this. And that's when he gets pissed. And I don't know if he gets pissed because of, like, well, he has to know something, because he says, if you're going to run your mouth about history, be ready for what you're stepping into first.
Yeah.
And it's like, maybe he's mad about him just saying, like, oh, like, Fishman history is just a history of slavery.
Right.
Maybe, and that's
kind
fair.
of fucking rude, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like this entire time he's going on about the legend of Nika or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, I have to believe that Fisher Tiger knew about the legend of Nika to some capacity. Maybe they all did, and like that's why the sun was chosen.
Right.
And I hope that's the case, because I hope that it's Jinbei that gives us this sort of
lore kind of
lore later on.
Yeah.
Like, oh, like the sun god Nika like was like, maybe Nika was a fishman. It's like, oh, he was this fishman that like would go and like free the slaves, and like he would always sing and bring people happiness or something. It's like, yeah. Or also, I don't know. He's holding like a spear and shit. Like, it could have been a Shandian or something. I don't know.
It really could have been a Shandian, and there is like an overlap of like imagery, so to speak, when it comes to like if you recall, like at the end when like the bell is rung, and like they're all, shit, you might have just brought it up like as we were recording just now, but when Luffy like jumps up in the air, and his shadow is seen, like that was kind of like, it wasn't like a big deal, but it was like similar imagery.
Yeah. And I just want to say, he says they thought he'd bring smiles to their faces and deliver them from suffering. And the people who saw that image of Luffy, one of them being Mont Blanc Cricket, had a smile on his face after seeing that, and was relieved of his suffering for years of searching, trying to prove that his uncle was not a liar.
Yeah,
Nolan. And even Bellamy, to some extent, like Bellamy was sort of delivered from his idea of like, oh, like, like I can have dreams, like stuff like that does exist.
Yeah.
Like, he even admits it in Dressrosa, because like, oh, like, I owe you, like, Luffy, because you showed me like a different way or whatever.
Dude.
So this series is good. That's all I gotta say.
All Luffy does is bring people happiness.
Yeah. I saw, if you want to know, the Deep Cut no Mi did not trigger, but somebody else used its power remote via Twitter, and I got scared because they were like, oh, like in like the first chapter or like the second chapter, like when he's talking to Nami, there's a scene where like he's talking to Nami and she's like not smiling, and then like as he talks to her, she begins to smile or something like that.
Oh,
and like in the background, there's paintings on the wall, and it's literally, you can see it. There's like suns in the painting.
Dude, shut
like,
the fuck up.
Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
How has this Dawn shit been fucking in our faces this whole motherfucking time?
This whole time, dude. It's wild. It's one of those things I agree with. God, I think it was Tekking 101 on YouTube. He did a video where it was just a discussion video, and he's just talking about like the One Piece and like what it could be and what it's gonna mean, and like man, there was something he said that struck so deeply within me that I was like, dude, like, yes. And he was like, all of this build up to like the One Piece and the Dawn and like the way Roger saw it and like laughed, like when we see it, like when we finally see the One Piece and everything clicks into place, like I think we're all gonna have like the same reaction as Roger, because I think it's like a mystery that's so like he's thought it out for so long that like when everything clicks together, it's gonna be a like, oh, like that's part of the reason why Roger was laughing, like, what, I can't believe I didn't see that. Like,
dude, it's really starting to feel like that, and like I'm really enjoying that aspect of it, because like this whole Dawn, literally the first fucking chapter is called Romance Dawn.
Yeah,
like
that too.
How has this been under our noses this entire fucking time?
I have no idea. But yeah, that's all we got for this week. I think we're on break next week, so we'll talk about some stuff, and we might end up, I'll definitely try to do some more homework on this, and I'll come with some findings.
Like, I wanted to wait before my reread, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to.
Yeah. But I will definitely say, yeah, I'm gonna do some homework. I'm gonna do some rereading. I'm gonna see what I can find, and yeah, that's just about it. If you want to sign us out, because I did stumble upon something, and I do have a crack theory, and I think it's very funny.
Oh, fucking shit. That'll be it for us this week. If you enjoyed this, if you want to find us here next week, it's simple. Absolutely simple. The way to do that is to go to any of your podcatchers, look us up. We'll be right there. Or if you're old-fashioned and you want to go straight for your RSS feed or just go for the direct download, you can find us and our episodes at parameciafancast.libsyn.com. Our stuff goes straight there every Monday? Yes, Monday.
Yeah, every Monday following the official release.
And if you can't wait till next Monday, you can't get enough of us, we're on our Discord. The Discord link is available on all of our social media, which if you'd like, we would enjoy it if you followed there. We're at Paramecia Cast on Twitter, Paramecia Fancast, literally everywhere else. And, we have a good time on the Discord. This was a chapter for a lot of discussion. We're using our noggins. We're a brain-using club over here.
Yeah. The cavernous wrinkles we have here and on our Discord is we pooled the caverns together. And we get some good stuff.
It frightens me how wrinkly some people's brains are.
Yeah.
Like,
it's insane. I will say too, on our follow us on Twitter at ParameciaCast. It's a good time. I mostly like retweet a whole bunch of One Piece like fan art or like discussions and stuff. And I'll just randomly, like, if you tweet at us, like I respond whenever I see it. But retweet. We tweet every time the episode goes up. Just give us a retweet if you're on Twitter.
It goes a long way.
And especially I've been reading all of the comments that everybody has been leaving on like our videos and our YouTube videos and like the episodes on iTunes. Like, keep it up. If you guys are listening on iTunes, remember to give us the 5-star rating, or if your Eneru is God, give us a 1-star rating. And
I worry that this is becoming a deep cut. This is becoming podcast lore.
If you give us a 1-star, make sure you write that you're giving us a 1-star and don't write that you give us a 3-star, because now you look like a liar and he still hasn't changed it. But yeah, give us a 5-star rating. Write any review you want. It could be stupid. It could be funny. Some of you guys are like, you guys leave a joke, but they're also like really genuine at the start, which is like, it's
touching and also appreciated.
Like, yeah, it's very appreciated. It lets us know that we're doing something good. That we're connecting with some portion of the One Piece community. I mean, we want to reach, the point is to grow. Like, we do want to grow, but also like we want to grow in the right direction. And reading all of those comments made me feel like we were growing in the right direction. So
yeah, we're doing
guys.
Something right is what that all lets us know. And it's really good to like feel justificated in that.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Content creation is a weird game. And we're not in it for like anything else, just to like, other than to like make a good space for One Piece and its community. Yeah. But like, if you think we're a nice place to live when it comes to One Piece and One Piece opinions, giving a review would help someone find us.
Yeah, it's a good time. But let me hit you with this crack theory. Let me end us off on a good note.
Is it a good note?
So Who's Who recently brought up Nika, the sun god, but little does he or Oda know that Oda has already named a character Nika in the series, and it's one of the Little Mermaid sisters from Fishman Island, and they were named after numbers, and it was Ichika, Nika, Sanka, Yanika. Look, the number 2 one was named Nika. That little Fishman sister, the Little Mermaid sister is Nika, the sun god. Fishman Island's the best arc.
I'm just not gonna respond.